stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to another live stream tonight. Hopefully you guys are having a great evening. Oh, thank you guys for liking the live stream. I really appreciate it. Amy, I'm doing okay. I'm battling allergies pretty bad. So like I'm not feeling that great with that whole situation, but otherwise I'm doing okay. How are you? Just happy to have our internet back. It did not come on until almost 4 in the morning, or it was like almost 3 in the morning. So I was planning on working last night. That did not happen. It went out, I want to say around 7:30 or 8, and didn't come on until 3 in the morning. And then our power went out for a few minutes, not for very long, but it was after the storm that our power went out. So I thought that maybe it was a manual outage while they were fixing the like power lines, and that was what happened. But our internet was out most of the night. It just was very, very annoying, but glad to be up and running today. Yeah. Amy, I think you need to protect yourself spiritually as well. Just make sure that you're saying affirmations every day, and it seems like you're having like a lot of like, I don't know, it seems like every time I talk to you, you also seem like you're not doing great. So just make sure that you're spiritually protecting yourself, and then also if you need to like get yourself to the doctor, because I have like chronic issues myself and I know what that's like, so I hope that's not what you have going on. But your brain is awake, that's good. IJ, thank you for the in-depth donation. I think you're first on my list tonight, IJ. I want to let you guys know that we also got an angel donation. So we will be doing a giveaway. and we'll announce the winner for the giveaway at the end of the free list. So make sure that you guys are staying put. We have a mini reading giveaway that we will be announcing at the end of the free list. We had an angel donation. Someone came in and sent a donation to bless someone in this chat tonight. So we want to thank them for doing that. We really appreciate it. And I know that everyone that gets rewarded or wins really appreciates getting that reading. A lot of us fall on hard times lately, and I know that it's really hard sometimes to be able to afford a reading. So it's times like these when people come in and just share it from the kindness of their hearts is just such a beautiful thing. And I'm happy to be able to facilitate this blessing as well. Let's see. I am collecting all of the yes/no questions everyone's dropping in the chat. Alyssa, yes, you are able to ask a yes/no question for free. Yeah, isn't that sweet, Nessa? So we'll be doing a giveaway donation at the end of the free list. So if you guys want to enter for a chance to win a free mini reading, make sure that you stick around. Let's get started on the free list question. This is for Nessa. Nessa, I have a no right now. I have the devil. This could mean that the person's going to make a move, maybe not romantically, but maybe like in a wanting to like be physical with you kind of way. Like, because the devil talks about temptation, so it might be like a lustful pursuit, but maybe not romantic. Or it could just be a no to your question. Sophie, I have a yes. Page of Wands. Raymond, I pulled a no for you. I have the 7 of Swords. Raymond, does your person have to do with like travel for work or something? Like, does this person are they like in the military or like something like that? I don't know why I'm picking up on that message, and I'm just curious if there's some kind of like travel for work or like military something, almost like this person is away for some reason. Like they're away is what I'm hearing. P, I have a no. 3 of Swords. Bernie. Bernie, I have a yes. Queen of Wands. Make sure that if you want to be a part of the entry for the angel donation giveaway, that you stay put. I want to make sure that you guys don't go anywhere. We will be announcing a winner at the end of this at the end of this free list, okay? So just stick around. It won't be too long from now. In a couple of minutes, we'll be announcing a winner. All right. Has Eli ever watched or seen me get ready for the day recently by any chance? Show me a yes or no for Amy. Show me a yes or no for... I am getting a yes, Amy. I have the Page of Cups. Look up the Page of Cups in the Light Seers deck because it's kind of cute. It kind of looks like he's watching over you. Afsane. Well, we're going to ask the first part of your question. I'm getting a no for Afsane. A DT. A DT, yes. The Empress. That's a really great card to get. Chibi. I have a no for Chibi. 5 of Pentacles. Margaret. I have a yes, Margaret. Justice. Smiley, I have a yes for you. King of Pentacles. You're welcome, Aditi. You're welcome, Margaret. All right, this is for Alyssa. Does Alyssa personally know who hacked phone and accounts? Does Alyssa know them personally? I would say yes, but not like a direct affiliation. So this isn't like someone close to you. This is like an acquaintance or a friend of a friend or someone who knows you like in passing. Because I have the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. This indicates that this person, well, first of all, the 7 of Cups is a maybe. And then I asked for confirmation. I got a yes, which is the 3 of Pentacles. So it doesn't feel like someone very close to you. I just have to say that. Also, I'm really sorry that that happened. Bake. Hey, Bake. I have a yes, King of Cups for you. We are going to close out the free list, but we are about to get started on a giveaway. Anybody that's in the chat can enter. So just make sure that you are staying put if you want to enter in for the angel donation giveaway tonight, okay? Shanine, I am getting a yes card for this, 10 of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. This is like not necessarily an answer I want to give to you just because of the nature of your question. I will just encourage you that you can influence this through your own free will, the actions and decisions you make, and how hard you work to change the outcome. This is not set in stone. In addition to that, the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles indicate that there's potentially somebody or someone that's either like family or is family that might want to come in and try to find a way to help you. The King of Pentacles can also indicate like an older man may or may not be related to you that's also going to want to help you as well. Haley, you're welcome, Melissa. Well, Haley Travel is here. Yes, I have the 10 of Wands. While this is typically a no answer, when I look at this card, I literally tell people that it means travel to me. This particular deck indicates travel. And it's also a woman with suitcases packed, and it looks like she's going on a long journey. So I'm going to use my own intuition to interpret that this is a yes for you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on announcing who the giveaway is for the angel donation. If you want to enter to win, drop a green heart in the chat below, please. All right, we have a DT, Amy, Bake, and Shanine. If there's anyone else that wants to enter to win this giveaway, drop a green heart in the chat below. The giveaway is because we had someone come in and donate what we're calling over here is an angel donation, where a person wanted to bless someone in this chat with a free reading, and we're very appreciative of them. Let's see. Philomena, let me add you. Philomena, I have your donation as well. We'll be adding you after IJ. Anyone in the chat can enter. It doesn't matter if you've gotten a winning before, if you've gotten a giveaway before, if you've never donated, or if you donate all the time. As long as you're in the chat right now, you qualified to enter. So just drop a green heart in the chat if you want to be a part of this giveaway. We are going to lock this in very soon, so there's only another minute or two before we announce a winner. I'm going to give it until 11:38 where I am, and then we will lock this in. All right, Smiley. Oh, thank you, Shanine. I appreciate that. Okay, so I have Aditi, Amy, Bake, Shanine, Philomena, and Smiley. We are locking this in now. Good luck to whoever wins, and congratulations in advance. Aditi is the winner. Congratulations. So Aditi, you have won the angel donation. Thank you all for being so supportive as always and congratulating the winner. You guys are awesome. Aditi, it's finally. Aditi's like, I've entered all of them. Amy's also entered a lot. I feel like Amy's win is coming up soon as well. All right, so that is that. And we are going to go ahead and get started on our donations. So the first one that we're going to do a reading for is Aditi. So Aditi, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you. Just let me know what your question is. Thank you guys for being so sweet. That's one thing I can say about this group of my followers. I don't know if anyone else can say this, but you guys are always super supportive of each other. You congratulate each other. You're always such good sports, and that's honestly so special. And I'm like really proud of that. And I just wanted to thank you guys for just being such good sports, such good people, and congratulating. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm updating the donation list as well as I'm saying all this. So. Okay, so we have Aditi, then IJ, then Philomena. Aditi, just do me a favor and tell me what your question is, and you can just come back to your reading once I'm done. Because it's a part of the giveaway that you've got to be here for your turn. So just let me know what your question is, and if you can't be here for your reading, I'll still do it anyways. Yep, absolutely. So if you can't be here for your reading, just go to your meeting. Since you dropped your question and I have it, I'm going to go ahead and get it done for you. And you can just come back and listen later on if you're not able to be here for it, okay? And thank you again to our angel donator. We really appreciate you. All right. Aditi says, can you check what will be the future of Nagnith and your connection? All right, let's see. Okay. Thank you for that information. So Aditi, I am getting that there's a lot of sacrifices that will need to be made in this connection. before you both can come together, one thing that's at play right now is karma. So I don't know if that's your karma or if that's Nagneth's karma or if it's just the karma of the situation at hand, because I'm not going to assume anything. But basically what it's stating is that if you are a innocent party in this and Nagneth is not, because he's leading you on, that he has karma to face before you guys can come together, some things that he's going to have to learn. If you both are together and there's a third party coming in trying to interrupt your connection, then that person will have to deal with karma as well before you guys can actually come into union. If you are the third party that potentially is trying to interrupt someone else's connection, there's a lot of karma there as well. So you have to kind of look at this at whatever angle this is. Whoever is the one that is causing issues or is interrupting a connection or is just not doing right by the connection, that person has a lot of karma to balance out, because basically the Wheel of Fortune is here indicating that whatever comes around goes around. So you always want to make sure that whoever this is, that, because third party situations, I mean, we have to say that like either it's a love triangle or that it's one person coming in trying to interrupt another connection or someone stepping out on someone else. So a lot of the times there is a lot of karma at play there that has to settle itself. What they're showing me is that you or Nagneth might actually end up walking away from you, or you might walk away from them before you guys can come into union. That there are some things that need to be worked out first that might require separation for you guys, where you guys are not able to come into union. I do see a 10 of Cups here, indicating that a future together is possible, but there is a lot of stuff that needs to be worked out first. And my only advice is, if you and Nagneth are in a relationship and you have someone who's trying to come and interrupt your connection, and Nagneth is allowing that to happen, you can't control what Nagneth is going to do. You are an innocent party in this, and that person, Nagneth, and that third party are going to get their karma. This is not going to work out for them. If for whatever reason Nagneth is in a relationship with someone else and you are coming in because you have feelings for this person and you're trying to get with them, you have to separate yourself for a little while and allow that to work itself out, because not only is karma at play, but karmic relationships are also at play. And whenever someone tries to interrupt a karmic relationship, it does not work out well for the person that's trying to do that. Because what's going to happen is maybe you'll be able to get Nagneth to be with you, but it's going to be temporary. This person's not going to be around for a long time because you didn't allow Nagneth to finish out and close out that cycle with this other person. So without further details and without you needing to explain yourself, I wanted to give you this reading to kind of interpret many different ways that this could be playing out so that you can understand it from all angles. But just in conclusion, that I feel you and Nagneth are going to have separation for a little while. I think that you guys do have the potential, 10 of Cups, to come together eventually. But I think that it requires some time apart first. So that is what I have for you, Aditi. We are going to move on to IJ. IJ is next. So IJ, if you're ready, let me know. Also, IJ, did your reading ever come to you last night? I was having such a hard time sending your reading because of our internet being out, and I had a feeling that if you didn't get it, you would have told me, but I just wanted to make sure. Perfect. You've been feeling an intense pull on your energy and not in a bad way. Can we dig into that? Yep, absolutely. Let's take a look here. All right, let's dig into this. What is this intense energy today, please? Ace of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is going to be the most interesting message that I think I've probably given you before, but I feel because it's the Ace of Wands, we're picking up on her. Just because the wands, it talks about like passion and like attraction and desire and things like that. So it's like, I don't think it's like one of your friends, and I don't think it's like a family member, like a coworker or anything. This has to do with like intense, strong feelings for you. And so that's what makes me think that it's her. But the message that I heard, which is like really interesting, is that she pulls on your energy like you are God. And what I mean by that is not like you're literally God to her. I think she believes in God. She believes in her own higher power. And she believes strongly in that. However, it feels like to her that she like leans on you in times of needing strength energetically, just in the way that you would lean on God in times that you need strength. And I don't know if that's because energetically you're like her future husband. And it's the only way that I can kind of articulate that is me being a wife. And like when I need strength, when I know that I'm not going to be able to like measure up that particular day, or I'm not going to be able to afford this, or I'm not going to be able to like have the strength to do this particular task alone, I know that I can always rely on my other half. I know that I can always rely on my husband. And it doesn't separate the fact that I believe in God, and doesn't separate the fact that I believe in God, but I almost feel like God puts my husband in my life to be the physical support because God is the spiritual support. And so I feel almost like I rely on my husband for like energetic and physical support, if that makes sense. And I feel almost like that's what she's doing with you. And I don't even know if she like actually realizes it and if she'd be able to articulate it that way. But I feel like in times when she's needing like a little extra energy, especially because IJ, you open your channels to her, you allow her to take that from you. You allow her to like pull on you when she needs it. You may have even given her permission to do that. So I think that she will. And I think that she does, almost like an energetic ATM, you know, like she's like, I need some energy. And you're like, okay, take some out. And I feel like maybe it's a honor to do that for her when it comes to you, but just know that you guys are kind of like connected in that way. And that's why she feels that way. Is like you're like her energetic husband, so to speak. And we have really pretty energy here. We have the Magician, which speaks to the masculine protection, the masculine strength and power. And then we also have the Two of Cups talking about the fusion of your energy mixing with her energy. So the only thing that's missing in this connection in that way is the physical reliance that she can have on you, or the physical dependence, but that will come with time. I think right now it's just when she's feeling like she needs the strength, she almost like goes through you, because you're like that channel that allows for her to pull that energetic strength. So you guys have like a really special kind of cool little bond there. And I was going to say, I have a feeling that you don't mind it as long as you don't feel drained from it. I just want to make that clear. As long as you're feeling okay, because you said it's not in a bad way. We want to keep it like that. But a lot of times we can meet people and like accidentally like connect with them, and we're not like intending to do that. That's why they talk about having really good energetic hygiene when you're like doing readings, and when you're like just walking about at like the store, or really anywhere you go where you're going to be walking into people. Imagine like everywhere you go, you know, there's germs. If you touch a door, if you touch a cart, if you touch a car handle or whatever, just like there's physical germs, there's also like energetic germs. So you want to make sure that you're keeping really good energetic hygiene. Hey, Emily, welcome in. But when it comes to her specifically, that is a connection that runs deep. It's tethered deep. And I know that you don't mind it. But if for whatever reason you are feeling like it's too much, you might have to kind of pull back and protect yourself a little bit. Not that she's doing anything bad, but just know that like maybe she doesn't even recognize that she's pulling on your strength. And that's where, you know, or if you want to save all the strength you have for her specifically, and then making sure you're clearing yourself from all the other people that you interact with. And that's why Reiki is also really good too. And that's why they talk about like cord cutting and things like this. You said, oh yeah, I don't feel drained and I do keep up with my protection energetically. That's perfect. I mean, that's good. That's very, very good, because it's like a very intentional thing that you have to do. And sometimes you forget. It's as intentional as brushing your teeth and taking a shower. Like you have to remember to do it every single day. But you're like, that's cool if she's doing it. So if you want to save that for her, but just make sure that you're protecting yourself in all other ways from other people. I noticed that people who are very awakened, enlightened, they are good people. Sometimes people can, you know, use them for that. And we want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So that is what I have, IJ. Let me know if anything I said doesn't make sense. And if you want to add on for anything else, let me know. If not, I will move on to Philomena. Emily, how are you doing tonight? Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for stopping in, IJ. I appreciate you. All right, next up we have Philomena. Philomena for a mini reading. What are burnt on my work partner's feelings for me? He's been acting weird. Okay, let's see. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Four of Swords, King of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Burnside. I feel like he is very confused about how to be or how to act around you. There are parts of him that feel like the desire to continue to form a connection with you, i.e., the Seven of Pentacles. Like he's wanting to nurture the connection. He wants to build a bond with you. He wants to communicate and get closer, build a connection, so on and so forth. I feel like he doesn't really know how to go about doing that. I almost feel like the weirdness that's been going on is like him kind of walking on eggshells, and not because you did anything, but or maybe you did, I don't know, but just because he's like, I don't want to rub her the wrong way, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. I want to get closer to her, I want to nurture the connection, but I don't really know how to go about doing that. And so like his weirdness is coming across like his awkwardness, because he is like unsure exactly like how to move forward with you. So sometimes I feel like he's, like happy and cheerful and like having a good time, and then sometimes I feel like he's more quiet, and then sometimes maybe he's more engaging, and then other times you feel him pulling back. And I think that's because he's just not really sure. Like I have this picture here with the Seven of Cups in the Light Series deck where there's a guy and he's got his hands to his lips in like curiosity, like what should I do, like what move should I make, but I don't really know, like I don't have a clear path forward. You said someone told you he likes you, but you said he's too young for you. Okay. That's making sense, because the Three of Swords here talks about like you broke his heart or something like really hurt his feelings. And the Four of Swords talks about like retreating and like being more on the quiet side. But the King of Pentacles is like, but I want to play it cool. But at the same time, the Seven of Pentacles is like, but I want to still get to know her and get closer to her and nurture this bond. And the Seven of Pentacles is like, but I don't really know what to do. I don't really know how to go forward from that. Because I feel like he doesn't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but I feel almost like he wants to change your mind. Like he wants to make you understand that just because he's younger doesn't mean he doesn't have what it takes to like make you happy. So I feel almost like he wants to prove you wrong, but he's treading very lightly because I think he just doesn't want to do the wrong thing. Philomena, so that is what I have, girl. Would you like to add on, or do you feel good and satisfied with that? Currently looking at Cambodian skirts for Khmer New Year that's coming up mid-April. Oh, that's so cool. No, Divine, it's not. I just finished up my donation list, so I was waiting for another donation to come through, but in the meantime, I was on mute for a second. That's why I was typing my answers. I'm doing well. How are you doing? You're welcome, Aditi. Good. I'm happy to hear you're doing well, Divine. Amy says, I'm about to head off for bed now, Luna. I'm gonna make a late night meal. Ooh, that sounds good. You're making me want that spicy ramen. Well, it wasn't spicy, but it was like this girl who like made ramen, but she put heavy cream in it. So it was like a cream spicy ramen. I don't know what it was, but it looked so freaking good. And I completely forgot that was something that I wanted to look into making. But enjoy your night, friend. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. Divine, it looks like your donation came through, friend, for an in-depth reading. Is that right? Madeline, I'm doing Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. The price list is in the description. And if you look at the pinned comment, there's a link tree. If you click that link, it will bring you to all of my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal options. So basically, you just look at what you want to get and then just choose your payment option. So I might just make that. Not gonna lie, but night. Good night, Amy. Have a good sleep. Yes, I am USD. Let me get you my PayPal. Hold on one second. I'm going to drop my PayPal for you to make it easy. Whatever comes out, what you need to hear. Alrighty. Let me get to shuffling. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, really? I sound Australian, New Zealand accent? That's so funny. I will have to tell my husband that. He'll get a kick out of it. You're very welcome, Madeline. Where are you from? Oh, nice, nice. Very, very cool. Well, welcome in. I guess this is your first time here, so it's nice meeting you. Divine timing. So Divine, it's looking like there are some plans that are underway for you, something that you're working on. It doesn't feel like for instance, it's more like a thought. It's more like an idea. So for instance, there's not actual action that has been put behind this, but you have this spark of idea or inspiration, somewhere you want to go or something that you want to do or get started on. And I don't feel like there's a lot of action behind it. It's more so like the creative process beforehand. So, for example, if you're planning on traveling somewhere, it would be more like the research is going on right now. You haven't actually booked a ticket. Or like if it's a project, it's more like the details, the semantics, the like day in, day out. Operations and figuring out what exactly you need to get together to get this off the ground. Or if it's like starting a content page, like on TikTok, it would be more like currently doing research, creating the calendar, figuring out what kind of content you're going to post each day. Hopefully that makes sense. It's more so like an idea that's coming to you right now, a plan of something that you want to do or you are going to be doing. And it's more like the inspiration behind it. We have the magician, and this always talks about like the spark of like a new adventure or something new that we're going to be doing. And the two of wands talks about that planning and research stage, and the ace of swords talks about that like divine communication that you're receiving, and maybe even communicating with your guides or getting inspiration from, things that you're seeing, or maybe even dreams, or just feeling intuitive insights, etc. Ace of Swords is also here. So this is speaking to a lot of newness. I feel like this is a little familiar, but it's still untapped territory. Something that you may have some experience in adjacent, but not necessarily something that you have done before, or maybe you're doing in a different way. I hope this is making sense. So I feel like Spirit is saying that you're getting more inspiration that's going to be coming for you over maybe the course of the next, well, let me ask, how long will this inspiration be going on? They're saying 7 days to 7 weeks. We have the Seven of Swords. Swords is very fast moving energy, and it indicates days to weeks. Let me see. Seven of Swords. Okay, so this is basically like inspiration that's going to be taken over in the near future. You're just going to keep getting those like divine downloads that are going to be coming in, something you're going to be working on in the coming days to weeks. And then I think the action will be put in, because we have the Three of Wands, and that's the action. You're also going to be wanting to take into consideration anything you're bringing to the table that you already know or that you've already done. So like basically your resume. Okay, so like if it has to do with traveling, what helped you the last time that you traveled? What sources did you go through? What websites did you book with? What did you learn beforehand that can help you now? Or if it has to do with a job, it's like, what have you learned up until this point that you can apply to this new career? Or if it's a project, what skill set do you have that you could use to apply to this? Or, hopefully you get what I'm saying. It's like the Six of Cups talks about everything leading up until now, everything that you've obtained, your knowledge that you've acquired, any insights that you have. And then also this speaks to connections as well. So networking, basically utilizing the networks that you've already created. If this requires word of mouth, if this requires other people helping you, if this requires investors, if this requires maybe like trying to get advice from someone who's done this before or whatever, like basically just like people in general could also be a part of this journey for you. Looking at what other people have done and finding a way to make it something that's your own. Or if maybe, I don't know, maybe someone can put you in a room with other people that might make this easier for you to get this off the ground. Or maybe if it's traveling with certain people you really liked to before and doing it with them again, maybe in a new place. Again, I'm just trying to interpret this in like many different ways that this could be coming through, but this is talking about how your past is influencing your present and how the connections that you have made along the way are going to take you, the connections and the skill set and the knowledge are going to take you far into this new journey that you have or that you're embarking on. Let's see. I can pull a couple more cards for you, but since you said it is resonating, do you want me to pull a couple more cards maybe on a question that you have now that you know what we're talking about? Or do you want me to just keep pulling cards and seeing if anything else comes through? Because I can pull about 3 more cards for you. Said, I love that. I'm hoping it has to do with work. Is it, because I did see the 9 of Pentacles. So my question is, and also the 7 of Swords is there. So is it something that you're planning on doing independently? Because the 9 of Pentacles talks about like independent work or doing something where you are able to rely more on yourself than other people. And the 9 of Pentacles also talks about culmination, like everything that you've done up until this point leading you to a reward, like how hard you've worked getting you to a place of reward. Yeah, I have the Death card. So we're talking about a period of transition for you and transformation as well. It may require a little bit of sacrifice. I think they want you to pay attention to how much you're resting, how much you're taking care of yourself as well during this time. But the Hanged Man indicates that there may be times where you feel like you kind of need to bend over backwards a little bit and make some sacrifices, but you know that it's going to pay off. So you're fine doing that. Oh, that's interesting that I said bending over backwards because it's like it's like this person on this card is like stretching out their body. And so that could be considered like physical rehab, but I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I'm saying like it's almost like how helping people change their perspective, helping people find ways to get stronger and build strength over time. That's very much like the Hanged Man. Let's see. Anything else for Divine, please? Wow, that's amazing. What else can you tell me about the situation for her, please? I want to say, Divine, that I almost feel like you go independent. Like you go like independent contracting. Or you maybe create your own case manager company, or I don't know, like I feel very strongly that you eventually become like outsourced. Like you become someone who maybe unless you already are, and maybe that's being acknowledged here. And I don't really know a lot about case manager work specifically about this, so I don't really know how this would even be possible, but it feels like you go independent. It feels like you eventually become this individualized person. So it's either like self-contracting or you become like an outsourced case manager for other case managers to help other facilities. So it's something along those lines. So yeah, and I mean that can definitely be in the future at some point, but I keep seeing the magician, and the magician talks about manifesting. So that's why I feel like something bigger is coming for you as well. Divine, did that answer your question, or would you like to add on to your reading? Yeah, something to look forward to for sure. You want to send extra? Yeah, you can send well, let me see. What did you ask me? You said anything this year. Yeah, so if you want to send extra for, we can look into so I can pull 5 cards for a mini reading. It's $8. Or I can pull another 10 for you for 13, like the original donation. And Madeline, you'll be next once I finish up with divine timing. Just want to let you know. You sent 8. Okay. So when you said anything for this year, you're basically wanting me to do a general reading for you, looking into anything you can look forward to this year. Is that correct? Perfect. Okay, give me 1 second here while I shuffle for you. Oh, thanks, Madeline. All right, tell me about this year for divine, please. What can she look forward to this year? What can she look forward to this year? Hi, Pearl. Welcome in. How are you? Hey, Pearl. All of my free options closed for the night, so we're only doing donations right now. All right, so Divine, you're getting lucky this year. I feel like this is a very lucky year for you. I'm not getting like specific areas of luck, like in terms of like, is it money? Is it love? I'm leaning more towards connection. So maybe it's money too, because the Wheel of Fortune literally talks about like a fortune. So you could be stabilizing in your finances in your career, but I'm looking at this year as like the year of connection because we have the 3 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And in this deck, which is the Light Seers deck, you can always Google this if you're interested, the imagery, because I don't have my camera on right now. But it's the 3 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And these images show people with like their arms around each other. And it indicates like a bond and a feeling of closeness. So this could indicate deeper bonds that you're creating this year with the people that are currently in your life. And maybe some life events that happen that strengthen and deepen that bond that you already have and just make you guys closer. This can also indicate new bonds that come in for you. So with the 3 of Cups, it indicates like maybe new friendships that are coming in for you as well. Like, so if you feel like you don't really have like a really close best friend, or maybe you do, but maybe you're open to more opportunities for other people to meet other people, this is what that feels like to me. And specifically with the 10 of Cups, it does make me feel like a romantic partner. So if you're already in a relationship, this could be deepening and strengthening that bond. This can also talk about marriage, proposals, things like that that happen this year. If you are not in a relationship, it could indicate a new relationship that will be coming about in 2025. And I also see if you struggle with like mental health or some kind of like mental thing, whether it's like some physical ailment like migraines, or if it's like a mental issue like self image, or struggling with like maybe anxiety or insomnia or something along those lines. It has to do with the head. So it's like thoughts about yourself, maybe habits, maybe just the things that are structured around our minds or our head. It feels like there's a liberation from that. We have the Queen of Wands. So I do feel like there's some relief that is found this year from those specific things for you. Yeah. So I think you find ways to kind of release yourself from that anxiety. You find tools and other modalities that allow you to lessen those things. So whether that's certain supplements, somatic therapy, or I don't know. I feel like you find something. You find something that kind of alleviates. I'm not going to say eliminates, but alleviates that. You're very welcome, Divine Timing. And also look at how special your name is, literally Divine Timing. And I kept pulling the Wheel of Fortune for you, which is literally Divine Timing. So I feel like that's kind of the synchronicity there. Have a great night, girl. All right, Madeline, you are next, friend. You can post your question. Thanks, Divine. Hopefully we see you again soon. All right, so you want a love spread. Okay, let's take a look here. Garage and Madeline. Garage and Madeline. Garage and Madeline. Okay, so I'm going to let you know what cards I have, and then I'm going to go into each one. For how Viraj feels about you, we have the Star, their true intentions, the Knight of Swords, what you want, the Hanged Man, what they want, the Two of Cups, what brings you together, the Ace of Wands, what pulls you apart, the Seven of Cups, the energy around the relationship is the Two of Swords, what's hidden is the World, and the Eight of Cups is will the relationship be successful? So I kind of want to ask the nature of the connection, like, are you guys together in a relationship, in separation, or like it's complicated, it's situationship. But if I were to go off of these cards, would the relationship be successful? It's looking more like one or both of you will be walking away from this connection, or maybe you already have, and maybe that's what is going on right now. With this message, the Eight of Cups encourages us to withdraw or retreat from the things that aren't working for us anymore. We need to let go of negative patterns. We need to kind of release the things that stop this connection from being as good as it can be. The Eight of Cups sometimes indicates the need for taking some time apart or taking a break to figure out if this is really what you want the relationship to be. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean a permanent thing. This can be very temporary, but it indicates like that there is going to be some kind of separation in this connection, whether that's already come to pass or if it's going to and it hasn't yet. You connected 4 years ago, separated due to moving countries, then he moved on. Okay. He got out of a relationship just last week and we're in contact again. Okay. Let me pull one more card. Will the relationship be successful? See, I feel like I'm getting that the connection leads to disappointment again for some reason. Five of Cups. I do see the strength of your connection here with the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. It does make me feel like there is a strong bond between the two of you, and that right now the current energy, like the Page of Swords and the Two of Swords, is like this uncertainty, not really knowing what's going to happen here, but being curious and interested and maybe like wanting to kind of get to know each other again. But asking again, is the relationship, what's the potential here? I have the Five of Cups, which indicates disappointment. So I want to state this But I also want to remind that with tarot, we can utilize our own free will to help influence the outcome of a situation. Not everything is always set in stone. And just because I'm telling you right now that there's not enough to go on to know if this will work or not, and I'm leaning towards a no, doesn't mean that that cannot change. That's just where we're at right now. It seems almost like you guys are going to need to get some things off of your chest. Like, it might be nice to keep things light and fluffy right now, just because it's so the reunion is so new. So you might just want to like take it easy. But I think there are going to be some things at some point in order for you guys to move through to a new threshold of a connection. If you decide to take things to the next level, there are going to be some things that you need to talk about, because what's hidden is the world, indicating that there's going to need to be some closure here in your connection and clarity provided before you guys are able to decide what's next for the two of you. So almost feeling like a conversation, it's got to go below surface level, below like, hey, how are you? How have things been? What have you been up to? What's life been like since we haven't spoken? You know, how are you doing now? That kind of thing. We have to get like underneath the surface level stuff, and you actually are going to need to find that closure from him, and you guys are going to have to be willing to have like a very serious conversation. We're having good conversation, bringing up stuff from the past, but it is weird knowing we're in different countries. And that's like the thing, Madeline, is that you guys are going to have to kind of get to like the root of it and talk about the elephant in the room. You know, like you're going to have to talk about the thing that's hard to talk about, because while it's nice to have this reconnection, it's like, what has changed? What could change this outcome and put us in a different situation than we were before? It's nice connecting. It's nice reconnecting and talking to you, but what are we doing? Like, what's going on here? So maybe you guys can have like those nice fun conversations, you know, over the next week or two, but at some point it's going to come to a head, and at some point you are going to have the hard heart to hearts. And I feel like, you know, with what brings you together and what pulls you apart is like the Ace of Wands saying, oh, we're so attracted to each other. There's like this connection, this undeniable and intense attraction that we have for one another. But what pulls us apart is the uncertainty, the Seven of Cups, the not really knowing, the, you know, am I going to have to move? Are they going to have to move? How are we going to do this? How are we going to make this work? Are we going to live together somewhere completely different? You know, and that's the hard part about living in different countries as well, I feel, is that in order to make it work, the relationship has to move very, very fast, because you guys are only going to be able to do long distance but for so long. And so unfortunately that does put undue pressure or stress on the connection, because you have to have those conversations quickly, because why are you going to invest in a connection that's not going anywhere? So that's really hard. And I can see why that can be like a strength or a weakness for the two of you right now. Yeah, you'll have to ask him why he reached out again. You have to like figure out what's going on in his mind, you know. And I feel like he wants that reconnection with you, because we have the Two of Cups, so he has never really forgotten you at all. And I feel like you're looking for him to make the sacrifice, the Hanged Man. I think you're looking for more from him. You know, you're like, I'm the one that got hurt the last time you moved on without me, and I need to see you being the one to make the sacrifice this time. You know, and how he feels about you is you're maybe the one that got away. Maybe you're his last hope, or what he feels like is his last hope for love. And I feel like with his intentions being the Knight of Swords, it's not a bad energy for his intentions, but it does indicate that he's not thinking things through right now, and he's acting very impulsively. And that I think you need to kind of protect yourself from, because this could be impulsive, like he surprises you and visits you in a week or two, or this could be the kind of impulsive where like he ghosts and you don't hear from him again. So it's a very unstable energy, and it can work in your favor or against. And we're just going to have to see how this plays out right now, because I just don't think he's really thinking things through at this time. So I think you need to kind of maybe feel free to engage with him, but like just be cautious. Let me know if you would like to add on to your reading for anything else. And if not, hopefully you enjoyed your reading with me and we see you again soon. Hey, Asen, how are you, girl? Asen, I'm going to run to the restroom really fast. Hopefully that's okay with you, but you are next. So you're not going to have to wait too long, okay? That's about right. We need to meet each other's sexual needs, but I'm trying to see nature protecting myself at the same time. Really enjoyed the reading. You're welcome, Madeline. I hope it resonated for you. It sounds like it did. I hope we see you again. It was so nice. Thank you for letting me tap into y'all's energy this evening, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you, Asen. I have you down for a in-depth reading. So if you want, Asen, go ahead and drop your question below so that way when I get back, I can get started on you. You're welcome, Madeline. And I'm saying have a good night. I know you're in New Zealand. I don't know where you are or what time it is. So have a good night or a good day wherever you are. Hey, it's Sully. I was using the restroom, so I was away from the computer for a second. I am still taking donations. There's only one person ahead of you if you decide to donate. All right, Ascend, this is for you. Anthony and Ascend. All right, Ascend, hopefully you're still here. For how they feel about you, I have the Seven of Swords, True Intentions, Eight of Pentacles, what you want, Death, what they want, Strength, what brings you together, Seven of Pentacles, what pulls you apart, the Fool, energy around the relationship, Three of Swords. Ooh, Three of Swords. What's hidden, the world, and will the relationship be successful? We have the King of Wands. So for how they feel about you, I feel good. I'm glad you're here. I feel like they kind of like keeping these feelings on lock. I don't know if this person has a hard time articulating how it is that they feel about you, but it's almost like they want to keep it a secret, or maybe they feel the feelings, but they don't really know how to express them. Because the Seven of Swords talks about how like you have a hard time like showing people who you are or what you feel or what you think. But it does come with a compliment to you that he feels like he can, you're one of like the only people or maybe the only person that he feels like he can truly be himself around. Like he feels like he can show up authentically, as like his own nature, as his own essence when he's around you. And maybe he feels like he has to kind of put on a mask or a face to other people in order for him to feel comfortable around them. But he feels like, with you, he feels like he can show up authentically as himself. You said, yeah, he does have a hard time being vulnerable. When he finally opened up, when we dated, it was when he felt safe knowing it's mutual. Exactly. But he thinks of you as someone who he can like be himself around. His true intentions, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So I do feel like there is this desire to connect with you and to put effort back into this relationship. What you want, we have the Death card. So you're looking for a transformative experience with him. You're looking for something big to happen, some kind of transition, change, something along those lines. And what he wants, it seems, is like he wants to feel like the connection is strong enough because we have the Strength card. Like he wants to feel like you guys can get through anything. I almost feel like he has this wound where he feels like if there's any kind of unwavering between two people or some kind of instability, he doesn't feel safe. He doesn't feel safe. This could be due to an abandonment wound, or this could be due to an what's the word? Formative years, he experienced instability in the relationships that he was taking, like that we're supposed to be modeling a relationship to him, he had bad experience with those. So it feels almost like he's like, I can't really show who I am unless I feel like the connection is strong enough. You know what I mean? Before, he would try to play it cool till we opened up. Like, yeah, I said I definitely made it a point. I didn't want you to feel like you can't be you. I want him to feel safe and be himself. I feel like I did my best, but I don't know now what. Yeah, so God, this energy around the relationship with the Three of Swords is kind of hard because that indicates like a lot of like sadness and heartache and pain that's come from this connection. Whether that's just because you never really got to see it fully play out or never got to live up to its fullest potential or something happened. And it feels like really hard and it feels really sad. Let me see. What brings you together and what pulls you apart? We have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like when it's strong, it's strong. Like, I feel like when you guys want to work on the relationship, when you guys like you guys can find yourself on the same page, it's like it does work really well. I think that the weaknesses, are you young, SN? Like, are you in like your 20s or 30s? I feel almost like sometimes there could be an angle, maybe from him, of a lack of maturity sometimes, because the Fool talks about being a little naive or being a little ignorant, and I don't know what perspective that comes from. And a lot of times when I see the Fool, thank you, Sully. You'll be next. Drop your question in the chat for me, okay? But sometimes the Fool can come from like the feeling of inexperience. So either he's inexperienced, or sometimes it talks about like young love. You're in your mid 30s. Okay, same here. So yeah, I'm not sure where that's coming from, but maybe it could be him, because I don't think it's you. I really don't think it's you. Will the relationship be successful? We have a lot of like Leo energy here. I want to say, Ascend, that you guys are going to give it another shot. I want to say you're going to give it another shot. You're going to try again. And I think that the hope is that you guys are able to make it happen again for you. I don't think all hope is lost, and I don't think this connection is fully over. He said, I don't know. I feel like him being mature relationship versus past. Wait, I don't know. I feel like him being mature relationship versus past one young love. Are you saying you feel like he was, based off of your past relationships, you feel like he was the more mature one? Is that what you're saying? The Fool can also talk about wanting to be free or wanting to be set free, or feeling like you are more safe being on your own. So that could also be a theme here. But really, the Fool just talks about like freedom. It talks about being independent. It can talk about immaturity or inexperience. And that could be considered a weakness. I definitely would not nag, but we are going to have uncomfortable conversations. But the point is to grow together. I feel his past relationships didn't challenge him. So yeah, so that can be what I mean when I talk about like inexperienced, because what we're supposed to do in all of our relationships is walk away learning something. We're supposed to learn something new. And it makes me feel like he almost is a little stunted when it comes to understanding how to be in a relationship. That's what I mean. Like, I was like, I feel like it's not her. I feel like it's him. But like I said, I feel as though, because we have the Ten of Cups and the King of Wands, I don't think the connection is over. I think you guys are going to give it another shot. at least with the energy I'm tapping into right now. Would you like to add on? Do you have another question you'd like to add on for, or does that answer your question for the night? Okie dokie. All right, so yeah, that's fine. That's good for me because I don't need many cards to answer that question. So yeah, just go ahead and send 8 over. Thanks, girl. Hey, Luminous. Our free list is closed for the night. I don't have any other free options. If you want to donate for that question, it's $5. Okay, so they're saying that it won't be as expected. I asked specifically for timing and I got pages and it says no timing. Then I got the tower and it says no timing. But it's saying that it won't happen as expected. And I was like, can you just give me like an idea, like a general ballpark of when this could potentially happen? And I got the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords is very fast moving energy. This could indicate any time within the next week to 7 weeks. And I understand that that's kind of a large range because that's almost like 2-month time span. But because I got the tower and because I got the pages, I feel like Spirit's not really wanting to give me a specific time frame. So let's just say within the next 2 months is going to be like my best guess about how or when that you guys are going to come back together, come back around. I feel like he is going to be the one that makes the effort. I have the 7 of Pentacles. And this talks about him putting in the effort. I feel like he's going to try to have some kind of grand gesture. We have the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. So I think what you need to do is sit back and kind of let him take the lead, because I think that it's supposed to be him that comes towards you with the Lovers and the Two of Cups. LOL or by text call. Yeah, like, I mean, it definitely could be definitely reach out to you via text or call, but I feel like it's when he communicates with you, it's by like being very sweet. Like it's by saying something or doing something that is very sweet or very kind. So wishing you well, telling you he misses you, sending you something to say like, this made me think of you, or I don't know, something along those lines. It feels like the way that he opens this dialogue back up is something really nice. Yeah, definitely. So like, let him come to you. My best guess is within the next 2 months. Again, I was having a hard time pulling an answer from Spirit, but it feels like he comes to you, he puts in the effort, and he opens the dialogue by doing something or saying something very nice to you. Almost like he's trying to break the ice by catching you off guard and like saying something sweet. Do you guys follow each other on social media? Okay. But he has your number? He said he won't move a muscle. Sorry, I had to have a granola bar. I was getting really hungry. I'm doing better, but from time to time you do miss him. Still, it's better though, but you're like, yeah, he needs to make a gesture. Okay. It's probably by phone number then. It feels like, because I have a Two of Pentacles, so it feels like he doesn't want to lay it on too thick. Do you get what I mean when I say that? Like, he doesn't want to force things or push too hard or come across kind of cringy, right? So he's trying to stay a little bit reserved, but he still wants to do something or say something that leaves an impression for you. Yeah. Well, Asen, we're going to have to wait and see what happens and how things play out. But I think that it's smart that, you know, he's the one that comes to you. You do not go to him. We have to see some effort from his side. Hey, Diamond. Yes, donations are still open. Sully, this one's for you. You're welcome, Asen. Have a good night. You're welcome, Diamond. Sully. Love spread about Nader, Pisces. Had a bad falling out yesterday, wondering his thoughts and feelings. Sully, okay, let's do a love spread. Thank you, Asen. I really appreciate your well wishes. Nader and Sully, Nader and Sully, Nader and Sully. 1, 2, 3. Diamond, I got your mini reading. Thank you. You're going to be next, Diamond, okay? We don't have much of a wait. We're staying pretty consistent tonight. However, we're not building a list because I'm able to get to people before the next person comes in. So that's been really nice. So you're next after Sully, okay? All right, Sully. So how they feel about you, 3 of Swords, their true intentions, 6 of Swords, what you want, King of Wands, what they want, the Hierophant, what brings you together, the Page of Cups, what pulls you apart, the 5 of Swords, energy around the relationship, 9 of Cups, what's hidden, Death and Rebirth, and will the relationship be successful? We have 6 of Cups. So what this is telling me is that there's a lot of love here between the two of you, between Sully and Nader, okay? We have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There is a lot of love here and a lot of love that would feel lost if you guys do not come back together. I feel like the two of you will reconcile. The two of you will reconvene, reconnect, because the 6 of Cups does talk about reconnection. So will the relationship be successful? I don't know in the long run, just because of the nature and the, I guess, energy that currently surrounds you right now with the falling out. But I can tell you that I do feel like you guys do come back into connection. And what's hidden and what you don't really know or what you don't realize at this time is that you're in a transitional period of death and rebirth. So it's not completely over. It's not completely done. The energy around the relationship, we do have the 9 of Cups. So this tells me that it might be kind of hard for you both to be seeing the other person's side right now. The 9 of Cups usually talks about what I want, what I'm wishing for, what I want to happen, what I see, what I feel, what I know. And it's not so much looking at the other person's side. And so that's something to keep in mind. What brings you together, what pulls you apart, we have the Page of Cups and we have the 5 of Swords. So the weakness is here, the conflict that you guys do experience. The 5 of Swords talks about needing to win at all costs. So maybe you both feel the need to be right, or maybe he does, or maybe you do. But regardless, it's like we're just trying to prove our point. We're just trying to be seen. We're trying to be heard, but we're both trying to do that at the same time. And it's creating conflict or it's creating chaos. The strength that you have with the Page of Cups is that you both still have hope for the connection. No matter what happens, no matter what happened in your connection, there's still this hope that I guess you hold on to that allows for this connection to remain open-ended. He said he's blocked right now. You feel led on, but he takes no accountability, and I can't express myself to him without going south. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense, because he's unwilling to see your side of things right now. With the 9 of Cups and the 5 of Swords, it's like he doesn't want to be wrong here. And so you're like, I want you to see my side. I want you to hear me. I want you to understand me. And he's like, but I don't want to be wrong. That's the problem. For what you want versus what he wants, I feel like you want him to take the lead. You had already said it, but you want him to hold himself accountable. You want him to take responsibility. You want him to protect you and protect your heart and provide and just step up. And I feel like what he wants is you guys to get along. He wants you guys to be on the same page. He wants to feel like you guys are both understanding one another. And sometimes the Hierophant can come through with this type of energy that's going on in this reading as, I don't want to be held accountable. I just want us to be on the same page. And I just want you to not rock the boat. And I want you to just, like, let's just get along for the sake of getting along. That's also not necessarily healthy. For their true intentions with the 6 of Swords indicates that right now, while I still feel like there will be reconnection or reconciliation with the 6 of Cups, I feel like right now his true intentions is honestly just to kind of walk away from this at this time. The 6 of Swords indicates like things have been really hard. And from his perspective, he's saying things have been really hard and I just want them to be easy. And I don't really care how or when or where we go about doing this. I just don't like this tension. I don't like this confrontation. I don't like these waves that are being created. And I just need things to be easier. So if that means that we have to go our separate ways for now, then so be it. How he feels about you, we have the Three of Swords. So he is suffering. I don't want you to think that like he's totally fine, and he could be acting fine. He could be like, I'm good, like this isn't bothering me, but deep down this is bothering him because the Three of Swords talks about breakups. It talks about like separation, painful separation. It talks about like really feeling the absence of someone. And that's what he's going through right now. So even if he's not acting like it, it's definitely how he's feeling inside, internally. We can't get along if he's a stone wall. He decided to break things off yesterday and called me names while doing so. So I crashed out and read it because he really led me on. So yeah. I think that he'll come to regret this, Sully. I really do. We have the Hermit card. He just needs some time to be with himself to kind of self-reflect on these things. I'm not saying it would be healthy to get back together. And like I said, I don't know the success of their relationship. All I do know is that you guys are going to be talking again with the Six of Cups. You guys are going to be reconnecting again. That's the extent of it that I know now. And I think right now he just kind of wants to remain separated because for whatever reason he feels misunderstood. He feels like you're not seeing his side. Whether you feel that's true or not, that's what's coming across here. And he feels like whenever you guys are together lately, it's more conflict than anything. You both are trying to be right. You guys are trying to be both be heard. And neither of you seem to be conceding. And I'm not saying it's right how he's handling things or how he's going about things, because it sounds like he handled things in a very toxic manner. I'm just simply trying to interpret these cards and try to figure out maybe what he could be going through. Sully, let me know if you want to add on for anything else or if that answers your questions for the night. You said we're long distance. Hold on. Because we're long distance. Yeah, Sully, you can donate for another. Sometimes he will ghost for days or a whole week and I'll still show grace. But yesterday he denied it completely and broke things off and turn off. I completely get that, Sully. Like, maybe you guys reconnect for closure. Like maybe you're just reconnecting to see if he's changed, like maybe see if it's worth giving him one more chance. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not quite sure like how things end for you guys just because of the energy you guys are currently in, but it feels as if you guys do reconnect. What happens from there is still to be determined. Got it. Okay, so what can I do for you this time? Okay, let's see. What are his true intentions? Honestly, I feel like he was just playing games. Okay, let's see. Was he just playing games with Sully? Was he just playing games with Sully? Was he just playing games with Sully? I definitely was picking up that he's having, that he does have feelings for you. Was he just playing games? All right, I am getting a no that he wasn't just playing games. I know that it might feel like that to you, Sully, because you're not seeing the effort from him that you feel that you deserve. And it could feel, I know that you've mentioned a couple times that it felt like he was leading you on. But I don't think that was the case for him. I think, unfortunately, with the son, this can just speak to a level of immaturity. So he can only care for you, love you, put the effort in for you to the capacity in which he was able. And the son here talks a lot about like childlike behavior and things. And if you think about a child in the general sense, children kind of focus on what they want, how they're feeling, how this is making them feel, what do they want in the moment, what would be fun for them, what wouldn't be fun for them, and general lack of awareness when it comes to bigger things. So I feel like it's almost like he was like emotionally stunted and he can only care for you to the extent in which he knew how. And I think that you felt he was playing games just because you felt like you weren't getting from him what he deserved. I feel like he felt from his perspective that he really did care for you, that he like really did have feelings for you. It just may not have seemed like a mature, like caring, selfless kind of connection. It might have felt more toxic just because he has that immature mindset or that inexperienced mindset. The son is somebody who wants to have fun, who wants to have a good time, who wants to do what they feel like doing in the moment. What they don't want to do, they don't want to do. And it seems almost like the effort you were requiring from him, he wasn't capable of, and also he didn't want to provide. And I think that when things were light and fun and happy and go with the flow, and he wasn't being held accountable and he could just do what he wanted when he wanted, things were great between you guys. But it was probably you biting your tongue and like not telling him that the things he was doing was making you unhappy, therefore things were going fine, but really they weren't fine. And then when you started voicing your opinions and started telling him how you were really feeling, then that's when we were starting to rock the boat because he didn't want to hear it. So it's like that's where the conflict happened here. He kept calling you narcissist. You didn't take that word lightly because you've been a survivor of that. It's not a joke to you. You agree. You don't think you want to put the work in. So I think from your perspective, it makes sense that you would think he led you on. It would make sense that you felt like he didn't care. I think that he did, but I think his way of caring was more, it's like a word that starts with the F that I'm trying to think. It's like more, hold on, let me see if I can look it up. It's like a specific word that I'm trying to. It's fickle. Like I feel like this person was a little fickle. That might be the word I'm looking for. Like he was very changeable and unstable in his affections and loyalties, and often shifting his opinions or moods from you without even like a clear reason. You never really felt like he was very consistent, and I feel like it might have come across as a bit careless with your feelings. Yes, fickle, exactly. Like it might have come across very careless with your feelings. Um, and I feel like for him, he was like, Sully, I just want to have fun. I want to enjoy your company. I want to hang out, maybe hook up. I don't know. Like, I feel like he wanted something that was going to not ruffle feathers. He wanted something that was easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Like, he didn't want a complicated thing. And it almost felt like you guys had completely different views of what it is you both wanted from this. And he didn't want to go against the grain. He didn't want restraint. He didn't want restrictions. He didn't want you coming to him telling him you're unsatisfied. He just wanted to enjoy the connection for what it was. And it was either going to be you're unhappy because he's not measuring up, or he's unhappy because you're telling him that he's not measuring up. So, and like that's the hard part for you, Sully, to like feel like he's projecting against you, because it's almost like he expected you to be something that you weren't with that projection. Like he expected you to be something that you weren't. And then when you showed up being that thing that you weren't, because he was projecting that onto you, then he was projecting some kind of like resentment because you weren't showing up how you wanted him to, you wanted him to. And then he's like switching it on you, like he's turning the tables back on you as if this is your fault. And that's not really fair, because what that means is that he's kind of set himself a fail safe at every single turn, that no matter what happens between the two of you, you somehow end up in the wrong every single time. Whether that's because you didn't voice your opinion and now you're unhappy and you have to pretend like everything's fine, or you do say that you're unhappy and because he doesn't want to hold himself accountable, then he turns it on you and says it's all your fault. Like, it almost seems like you were never really going to win in this connection. And I really feel like for him, his intentions were just to have a good time. I think he just wanted to enjoy your company whenever he wanted to. It was really for him a matter of convenience. It was like what was fun for him, what was good for him at the time, what he wanted at the time. And it wasn't really ever about you. And I think that because you a lot of the times would give him what he wanted, he started to develop feelings for you because you were becoming that person that he thought that he could really fall for. But where you weren't really that person, because you were unsatisfied in a lot of ways, you just weren't vocalizing it. And so it's almost like you fell for him because you thought he was something that but he actually turned out he wasn't. And he was falling for you, but you turned out to be something that he thought you were, but you weren't. And really, it comes down to just different expectations, different desires, and like not being the person that each other thought that you were. I can understand that, but we couldn't even get to that point because he was so wishy-washy. Yeah, he offered a real relationship, but it wasn't true. I gotta say, Zoe, I have been with someone before that was just like this. Actually, the person that I dated before I met my husband was just like this. And I had to kind of put a stop to it. I had to say, like, no, enough is enough. Like, this isn't what I want. And I had to move on. It kind of sucks too, like the fact that he offered a real relationship, because you kind of thought, okay, maybe this is happening. Like maybe this was all worth it. Maybe there was a point to all of this. And then realize that maybe he just was trying to pacify you in the end, you know? Sully, you have I do up to 3 readings for you in a row. before I put you back into rotation. So if you want to add on, you can, and you don't have to wait. But that's up to you. I know, Sully. I'm sorry. Okie dokie. Diamond Girl, if you're in here, you're going to be next. We're just finishing up right now with Sully, and then you'll be next. So if you want to drop your question, I've got you down for a mini reading. And if you don't want to post just yet, that's totally fine. But just get your question ready so that way when we call on you, you have it ready to go. Oh, perfect. What will be the outcome between us and a relationship waste time? Okay, Diamond, I've got your question. Thank you so much. And I will be with you within the next 5 minutes, okay? All right, I got you, Sully. So let's take a look at your next question. So after I told him off, he left me a long voicemail, but I didn't bother to reach out again. How does he feel about everything I said to him? After I told him off, he left me a long voicemail. I didn't bother to reach out again. How does he feel about everything I said to him? How does he feel about everything Sully said to him, please? I'm dealing with allergies too, so you'll have to forgive me. How does he feel about everything Sully said to him? So right now he's kind of feeling like a pity party for himself, and I think that what you said to him did make an impact to a certain extent. It did leave an impression, but I feel almost like your actions right now are what's freaking him out even more. So I don't know how to explain it in an easy way, so I'm going to kind of give an example. When you are hearing something from someone over and over and over again, and you're feeling frustrated with that person, and for example, when someone says, "Oh, you're nagging me," it's like as soon as you start talking, that person becomes immune to your voice and kind of shuts down and doesn't want to hear anything that you have to say. That's almost what it feels like, is that when you were talking to him, certain things were filtering through and reaching him, but a lot of it was just noise to him. And while certain things you said did make an impact, did have an impression, especially the things that felt very final, the things that you were saying that felt very I'm done, this is I'm over it, you're I'm leaving, or whatever it is that you were saying that felt very finalized. And then also when you were throwing things back at him, telling him who he was, like telling him what you're seeing him for now, that also made an impact. But basically outside of that, a lot of it was hard for him to hear because basically he was like shutting down. And I think that while some of that stuff did make an impression, the impact that you're having on him is the fact that of your actions currently of blocking him or not calling him back or not responding to him, distancing yourself from him. This is very impactful to him. He feels like you're in a place of like protecting yourself and wanting to protect yourself. And what he's doing right now is saying to himself, like, she's better off without me. Like, she's better off. I mean, this is just best for us both. Like, he's trying to rationalize it because he would rather say you deserve someone else or you deserve better and have like a pity party for himself than actually like try to recover this, try to heal this, try to fix it. So he's kind of telling himself this whole story about why you guys are better off in the position that you are and why you're better off leaving him. It also makes him feel better too to kind of create this narrative with himself that this was his choice, even though it really wasn't, because I feel like he kind of felt you pulling back and he may have been scared of that because like I said, he kind of has issues with that a little bit. Like people walking away from him. So I think that maybe he felt you starting to retreat and pull your energy back. So maybe he felt like it was important to kind of cut it off at the source. So that way he didn't feel vulnerable. But yeah, great description. He didn't care to hear you. It was just noise. Exactly. So it's like, yes, some stuff came through, some stuff he heard, but for the most part, he wasn't wanting to listen. He was completely shutting down. It was something about your voice, your tone, what you were saying, all of it was just like not what he wanted to hear. And he was like, I'm going to assume what she's saying rather than actually sit here and try to listen to what she's saying. So that's why I'm saying it's not as much how he felt about what you said. It's more about how he's feeling about your actions currently. That is making a big impression on him. That is making a big impact on things, because what it's telling him is that you're standing behind your words, that you are officially frustrated with him, done with him. You don't know like if you're ever going to want to talk to him again. And I think that he's very used to getting back in your good graces, that this is really feeling like very big to him. The fact that you have distanced yourself from him altogether. You get what I mean? Yeah. So, I think that the only way what you're saying is going to get through to him is when he's in a more receptive place. But nobody wants to hear about themselves. Nobody wants to hear like a negative attribute or a negative quality or anything like that. And I feel like the only way that you'll have the upper hand in having him receive what you're saying next time is if he's really wanting you back and you have like the ball in your court, so to speak, where you're like, okay, but you're going to hear me when I tell you da 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 da. Do you still want to be with me? It's like he would have to fight for you and be open to receiving the criticism. This will never move forward if not, you know? I know, Sully. I know. And it hurts and it's hard. And like, imagine him putting you through all of this bullshit. And then let's say you guys don't talk for like 6 months or something, and you find someone new and that person's really taking the initiative and that person's like really putting their effort in, and you really feel so good about this person. You really can see it heading somewhere. And then he comes back in the picture. And he's telling you, oh, I loved you all along. And like, I've always wanted to be with you. And like, you know, I don't want you to date this other person. Like, we belong together. Like, imagine what a mind fuck that's going to be. Because that's exactly what happened to me. And I was like, no. And I went with the new guy. And now we're married. Okay? So just don't be pulled back into this web unless you really feel like this person has changed, because it's like he's not putting in the effort right now, and you really have to see him putting in the effort before you can even give that opportunity. I only went negative because he kept being weird and calling me names. Yeah, that's him deflecting, I feel. That's him saying, I don't like what you're saying, so I'm just going to turn this around on you. Well, you guys are going to reconnect. I don't know how that's going to happen, if that's going to be on him or not. But I do feel you guys re-engaging according to that last reading that I did. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Here's what I will say. If you don't foresee yourself reaching out right now, because this is the current energy that we're in, the path that you're currently on. If you don't see yourself reaching out to him, and I'm getting the reconnection card, then I can only default that it is him that reaches out to you, because we're going on the current trajectory based off of the current decisions and all of that. If you have it in your heart or in the back of your mind that you might be reaching back out to him, then it probably is you. But if you're like, hell no, I will reach out to him when pigs can fly, then it's him. Then it's him that's reaching out. Diamond Girl, we're about to get shuffled for you, okay? He's like, no, I'm not. He's blocked, so I don't know how it'll happen. I guess you'd have to unblock him. I mean, he can still send texts, right? Even if someone's blocked, I don't really know how this works, but if someone's blocked, can they still send texts, but you just don't get them until you've unblocked them, right? Isn't that how that works? You're welcome, Sully. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good rest of your night. I'm sorry that you're going through this. Try to hang in there. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works either. I don't really block people as of lately, so I don't really know how that works. All right, what will be the outcome between S and I as for a relationship? Is this a waste of time? All right, let's ask your question first. Will this be a waste of time again? All right, I don't. I'm getting no. Like, maybe this sounds crazy, but that's what the tarot's saying. The tarot's saying it's not going to be a waste of time again. I'm getting a no. 8 of Cups, 4 of Swords. I'm asking what the outcome will be, and I got the Lovers twice. So I don't know if this means that you haven't gotten each other out of your system, and it's a lesson in life that you guys are going to have to learn from each other. Like, I know sometimes spirit will put someone in your life and you guys really just have to get each other out of your system. And if you still have feelings for this person and desire to be with them and want to be with them, even if you're not quote unquote life partners or like soulmates or like meant to be, in a healthy relationship in this life, sometimes if you guys haven't gotten each other out of your system, it's like you have to experience it like until you feel like you're completely disgusted by them. And like, so that's kind of what this could be. It could be spirit coming in and saying, hey, Diamond, like you still have stuff to explore with this person. I do have the Lovers, which indicates like a deep level soul connection. I also have Four of Wands and the Empress. So this indicates taking things to the next level with this person, potentially getting pregnant with them, or like maybe starting something together with them. But there's some type of like big moment or relationship or thing that you're supposed to experience with this person for whatever greater purpose this is, for whatever God is saying, like you're supposed to be with this person. I'm getting that you're being called back to them. I'm getting that you're like supposed to, that your experience isn't over, that there's something else that's supposed to come out of this connection. And you guys are supposed to get back together. I feel like spirit does not want to detract from this connection. They don't want to lead you away from this connection. For whatever reason, you're being led back to this person. And I think there's a lot that we still don't know about the reasons why. But with the Lovers, the Four of Wands, and the Empress, it indicates that you're supposed to get something significant out of this connection, whether it's you're supposed to get married to them, you're supposed to have a kid with them, or have a family or something like that. It's like basically your contract isn't done, if that makes sense. Like you still have work to do. You still have experiences left with this person that need to be experienced. You said, I've been trying to walk away and forget, but I can't. You never got the chance to experience the connection. So yeah, I don't know why I'm pulling the cards that I'm pulling, but we have a lot of like Two of Cups, love, passion, connection, still having hope for the connection. The Empress here indicates like the birth of something. So birth of an idea, birth of a business, birth of a baby, like something along those lines. And the Four of Wands talks about taking things to the next level, potentially living together, potentially getting married. So I think that you guys have some kind of contract together, and I think that there's still a lot to play out here, and that's why you're having a hard time walking away from this person. It doesn't mean that you don't have your own free will, because of course you have your own free will above all else, but Spirit is not encouraging you to walk away yet from this reading. You both want to be together, but other people are in the middle. So what I've said about like third party situations is that those have to play out, because even if you guys are meant to be together, if he's involved with someone else or you're involved with someone else, that could potentially be karmic. That I strongly feel like we come into this life with like certain lessons that we need to learn, and however fast we can learn those lessons, the less pain we will endure. But if we're not willing to learn the lessons very quickly, then we're just going to have to keep putting ourselves in the situation over and over and over again. And like, let's just say he's in a connection with a karmic and he hasn't learned that lesson yet. If you try to come in and interrupt that connection, then your connection with him will be temporary because he's just going to go back to the karmic because, again, he hasn't learned his lesson. So unfortunately, in these situations, we have to let these side things kind of work themselves out and let karma balance itself before you guys can come into union in a very healthy, open way, because you don't want someone coming in with karma into a relationship with you. They haven't learned their lessons, because then what's going to happen is you are now going to get the brunt of those consequences. And we don't want that. So we have to let these things play out. And not only that, but it's going to prolong your union if you try to, like interrupt a karmic connection, because that he's going to go back to that karmic connection. And then it's like, great, now I've got to wait even longer than if I had just let this karmic connection play out by itself. So I think that's what you have to do, Diamond. And it's probably a very frustrating place for you to be in, and probably very sad place for you to be in. And like I said, you have free will above all else. So if you're like, I'm out, like, void the contract, I don't care, like, I just need to move on because this is too much for me, that is your right to do that. But if you really want to give this relationship your best shot, you do have to let these other connections also play out before you even consider being in union with this person. Yeah, you said it is. Yeah. So yeah, that is what I've got. It's tough. I don't ever feel like there's just like one person for us in the world, but I do think that there are certain connections that are undeniable and unshakable, and those are very, very hard to walk away from. I currently am married, and I've been with my husband for almost 10 years, and when I tell you that, like, the relationships that are just, you just know, and they're just easy, and not that we haven't been through, like, hard times with me. We've been together for 10 years, so it's like there's always going to be certain things, but it's like my best friend, like every single day. Like, we maybe fight like once a year, if that. Like, we just have such like a healthy, good, strong relationship. And it's like, that's what I try to encourage people when I do readings for them, is just like, just know that it can get better. And whether that's supposed to be with him or that's supposed to be with someone else, there is that availability even these days to have that very like healthy relationship where you just have your best friend and you don't have to try, and they just accept you as you are. So while I want to encourage you to strive for a relationship like that, I also understand the need, as I mentioned before, to kind of get someone out of your system. And if you're not ready to walk away, then you're not ready to walk away. Yeah. But that's what I have for you, Diamond. Hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of clarity. You're welcome, Diamond. Of all the relationships I've been in, I never felt this way. Yeah, I can understand. And that's a hard thing to walk away from. But you're welcome. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Anybody else that's hanging out, I will see you guys next time. Have a good evening.